The final lesson in the STU on 4th grade fractions on a number line focuses on taking all of the students' knowledge of fractions into story problems that require them to compare three fractions. Students will be asked to interpret story problems and then create a solving plan while proving their work using number lines. Also, students will reflect on the size of a denominator and a numerator and their effect on the size of a fraction. The lesson begins and ends with students having bags of Skittles and having them eat 3 Skittles at the beginning, because we do all know that they'll want to eat them. And this will come full circle at the end on why eating 3 will help them discover the size of a denominator. As this lesson goes through, students will use the 4-style strategy of window notes. In those window notes, we'll talk about the facts, the question, the steps, and the diagram that they'll have to do for each story problem. I'll also use direct instruction within the 4-style window notes, and then also a community circle activity where students begin to look at their bags of Skittles and figure out that none of them had the same number of them, and they'll have to write story problems that compare the number of Skittles that they ate compared to the number that was originally in their bag, and then do that with other students and write a story problem comparing the fraction that they ate with the fraction that 2 other students in the class ate. During this activity, students will use the following math notes or window math notes organizer. You'll see that what I have here is an example of one. On the left side is the original sheet, on the right is the answer document, and how it will look when filled out. Students will identify the facts within the problem, the steps that they would take in order to solve the problem, the questions to be answered in the problem, and then showing a diagram of the 3 fractions to easily compare what is smaller and which is larger. So for example, in this problem, you'll see that 2/6 is larger than 2/7, which is larger than 2/8, and they will use the greater than and less than signs to identify those throughout the time. This lesson is directly connected to the Showcase teaching unit because it allows students to practice analyzing fractions and how the numerators and denominators affect the size. And because this unit is to strengthen fractions on a number line, it allows students to visually represent the fractions using number lines or diagrams like the one below.